Hey Ryder, welcome aboard your new ship. Here's your lovable new crew of aliens of all shapes, sizes, and cultures, but mostly space British people.
Well, I've been addling brass all day selling me Yorkshire puddings.
Mass Effect Andromeda is a game that can be summed up in one word: disappointing. What was billed as a fantastic journey
Explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations.
is actually a formulaic blockbuster about fighting evil aliens while trying to find a safe place for your crew. While that concept isn't inherently bad, Mass Effect The Andromeda Strain can't escape feeling like a missed opportunity, especially when its all-new, all-different galaxy contains less new aliens than the original. In Mass Effect Andy Rooney, you play as Randy Blanderson, aka Ryder, a starry-eyed soldier boy, or as his sister, a starry-eyed soldier girl. The twins are on a mission with their father, who leads the human colonists looking for a new home in the Andromeda galaxy. Once your dad meets the fate of all Western RPG dads, it's up to you to find humanity a new home amongst the stars. That sounds like a great setup to a spacefaring adventure, but Andromeda quickly squanders the strength of its premise, opting instead to tell a by-the-numbers sci-fi story about an objectively evil empire and the scrappy alliance that will bring it down. It's by no means a bad story, but for a series so revered for its expansive world and likable characters, I was hard-pressed to think of any new faces that left an impression. The story does have themes of legacy, exploration, and the power of communication, but these far more compelling ideas are cast aside in the late game in favor of more traditional sci-fi concepts like hunting for alien superweapons. Luckily, the combat in Mass Effect Automata is as solid as ever, with the ability to jump and dash, adding more tactical options to battles and speeding up the affair tremendously. Not being bound to cover and jumping over obstacles to get the drop on enemies is a thing of beauty. However, the combat does become more restrictive at higher difficulties, making certain playstyles impractical. This is a real shame, because the number of approaches the game gives you is great, and if you didn't rely on traditional cover shooting to take down the toughest baddies, this would have been a fantastic evolution for Mass Effect's tried and true gameplay. The art design is fairly good across the board, with pastel-colored deserts and shining neon vaults providing for some great eye candy, although glitches and the infamously doofy animations often mar what's otherwise a fine journey into the stars. Other mechanics such as scanning planets for crafting materials also return, although it's about as compelling as they were before. Mass Effect Andromeda is a game that has a few good ideas, but they're presented in an undercooked game that only hints at what could have been. It's weirdly reminiscent of Final Fantasy XV in that regard, in that it tries to take a beloved franchise in a new direction, but feels like a half step between the new and the old, and ends up telling a mediocre story in a very compelling world. Which fans of the series may find reasons to delve into its meaty main campaign and numerous side quests, but otherwise, Andromeda isn't quite a trip worth taking. 6 out of 10.